I personally am really excited to see some of the reveals of the regional variants or new Mega Evolutions or just something revolving new Pokemon within Legends EA. We're getting the new trailer soon for Pokemon Day or Pokemon Presents 2025, which you already know. I gotta remind you guys every single time I bring it up, it's about 3 weeks away from this day. We're getting it very, very soon, and I can't wait. But I think the game overall is going to give us some really interesting things as far as like Pokemon designs with the regional variants and Mega Evolutions. I don't necessarily think they're going to give us like a brand new Pokemon to this game. While they could definitely drop like a new Pokemon or two. I just don't see that happening, but I definitely do see us getting some new regional variants as well as new Mega Evolutions. Right before we get to the rest of the video, guys, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. Turn on the post notifications. My goal is to try to hit 20,000 subscribers, and I know we could do it with your help. And if you want to further support the channel, I have channel memberships turned on. Basically, you just get some bonus content, some extra stuff over there, but I'm always going to be pushing out these free daily videos for you guys. Anyways, back to the video. I feel like I'm definitely optimistic when I'm thinking about this stuff, and like I may be getting too ahead of myself. I just feel like this game is going to give us some good Mega Evolutions and some good regional variants, and I have a lot of reasons kind of as to why. So Generation 6 was the generation that gave us the least amount of brand new Pokemon for a release, which is crazy. And it's kind of the least amount by far. Like every other Pokemon game for a mainline, new generation release has typically like 100 or more so Pokemon, and Generation 6 did not give us as many, which is kind of crazy, but there are factors and stuff behind that play into the reason why we didn't get so many new Pokemon. I'm editing this video, and I'm pretty sure I just said Pokebon, so I thought I would just point that out, because I don't know why I said Pokebon. Anyways, back to the regular video. They were working on all the 3D models. Like X and Y were the first ever 3D Pokemon game. You'd just imagine having to bring up all the Pokemon sprites and work on them to give us a 3D model of those Pokemon. That probably took a very, very long time. And as well as that, we got Mega Evolutions, which is the first ever gimmick. And to this day, Mega Evolution is probably the best and most favored gimmick, and they still do give us evolution gimmicks. Like I'm pretty sure every single mainline new generation game has given us some sort of evolution gimmick that kind of plays in. Sun and Moon, their Sword and Shield, Scarlet and Violet, like they all had their own unique kind of gimmick that made the game a little bit more unique than the last one, right? But I think to this day, people still like Mega Evolutions the most. X and Y were also special too because it was the first time we ever got a brand new Pokemon type. We got the Fairy type, which I believe is the first type since 2000, the year 2000. And we have not had a new type since then. I mean, I guess you could also say, like, we just got the Stellar type with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, which I feel like a lot of people don't really classify as an entirely new Pokemon type. There's stuff that plays into that, but I guess you could think what you want, but basically Fairy type was huge. Like, it was huge to get a brand new Pokemon type for X and Y, and people love Fairy types. Like, people want more Fairy type Pokemon. So one of my hope for Legends EA is they kind of like favor some of the Fairy type, like maybe give us some Fairy type Mega Evolutions or just something around the Fairy type, because I think that's been a fan favorite ever since. And we got Sylveon, which is a Fairy type evolution. Imagine we got a Mega Sylveon. That would be pretty cool. A lot of people in my comments say that they want a Mega version of an evolution, and I think that would be pretty cool. I don't exactly know if they would ever actually do that though, but I feel like that would be super, super cool. Like, I think a Mega Sylveon would be crazy. And we haven't had a new Mega Evolution since Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. That game was the Generation 3 remakes. They gave us some new Mega Evolutions in that game, which is cool, and I definitely think we're getting new Mega Evolutions for Legends EA. I think it makes sense because, first of all, X and Y were the games that introduced Mega Evolution, so why not, when we're going back to Generation 6 or we're going back to the Kalos region, why wouldn't they give us some new Mega Evolutions? Because the fans love Mega Evolution. They could print Mega Evolutions on some new Pokemon cards. Obviously, it would be good for them as a business decision. They can make Pokemon plush and a bunch of accessories and stuff regarding and about, the Mega Evolutions in the game. And it would bring a lot of people to this game and to the Legends series, because I think they're going all in on the Legends series. I think they're going to be doing more. I think the next one's probably a Generation 2 Legends game, which I really hope. That'd be so sick. Anyways, I've talked about that too much on the channel recently. I think we're going to get some new Mega Evolutions. We know that Mega Evolution is coming back. Like, at the very least, we're going to be able to actually use Mega Evolution in this game because it was teased in the original trailer, which we got last year. And at the very end of the trailer was the Mega Evolution symbol, so that either means means we're getting Mega Evolutions coming back, or we're getting brand new ones, which, like I said, I really hope we're getting some brand new ones. And now in the modern day age of Pokemon, regional variants are a thing. I'm pretty sure the first time we ever got a regional variant was with Pokemon Sun and Moon, like the Alolan variants of Pokemon. So we've gotten a lot of regional variants since then, and since we're going back to Generation 6 or the Kalos region, I think we're definitely going to get a couple of regional variants. We got some in Legends Arceus. We actually got quite a handful in Legends Arceus. Obviously, we had some in Scarlet and Violet, so I think it's safe to say that we're going to get some new regional variants within Pokemon Legends ZA. And because of the fact that X and Y didn't really receive a ton of brand new Pokemon for Generation 6, and because Mega Evolution became a thing, and because Fairy types became a thing, I really think that Legends ZA is going to be special because they're really going to like pay homage to that. And like imagine they're like, okay, we just want to make up for the lack of Pokemon in this generation, and we're going to give you guys some insane Mega Evolutions. I honestly am convinced now that we're going to get a Mega Talonflame, and I actually said I wanted a Mega Talonflame in one of my previous videos about Mega Evolution, but I think it would make sense because in the original trailer for X and Y and ZA, they kind of like showed a Fletchinder in that trailer, so I think it would kind of be sick if we had a Mega Talonflame. I think Talonflame is already a really cool Pokemon. It may actually be my personal favorite like regional bird Pokemon. I think that the evolution line is really, really cool. I mean, I could be getting my hopes up. I just think because of the history of Pokemon X and Y, I think that's probably why they're going to really want to hit home with Legends ZA, and obviously because the last couple of years of Pokemon, it has not been the most popular time for the company. Like, people have obviously been showing a lot of hate. It's become really controversial. Like, people are so one-sided. It's like 50-50, you like it or you don't. And I think that they're really just working hard. And on the channel, I've talked a lot about like how I feel like Game Freak and the Pokemon Company and Nintendo, they're working hard to make better Pokemon games, especially since we haven't had a new Pokemon game since 2022. It's almost been 3 entire years, which is crazy. I mean, it depends on the time we're going to get the Legends ZA release, and then you could also say the DLC for Scarlet and Violet, which I don't count as a Pokemon game. I don't think anyone really does because that's bonus content. That's bonus stuff for the game, which the DLC was fun. I really liked part 1 and 2. I thought they were pretty fun to play, and I'm glad we got them, but they're not a brand new Pokemon game. And like I said, because of the history of Pokemon X and Y, how it was like the first ever 3D Pokemon game, which was a big change. Like, the change from the 2D sprites or whatever you want to call it to 3D was pretty big. That has changed the trajectory of Pokemon games ever since. Like, every single Pokemon game pretty much has been extremely different from the last ever since. I mean, you could kind of argue that X and Y, Sun and Moon, and Oraz, Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, if you don't know what that means, are kind of similar with the graphics. It's not exactly like one-to-one, but they're definitely similar. But ever since, obviously, on the Switch, every single Pokemon game has looked just completely different. So that's why I'm really looking forward to Legends ZA. I also really like the Kalos region. I'm kind of biased towards Generation 6. I really like that generation. I like the starters. I like the region. I really had fun with the Pokemon games, X and Y, and if you haven't played them, I'd recommend playing them because they're super, super fun. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think we're going to get some new Mega Evolutions? Do you think we're going to get some new regional variants? And if you're a real one watching this far in the video, comment down cheeseburger in the comments, just so I know that you're watching this far in the video, and because it's kind of funny. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe and turn on the post notifications and leave a like, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.